that first A in the left hand is a springboard to what's called the agogic note, because the agogic note is the quarter note surrounded by two shorter note values. So you're going toward that. You don't want this to get too boggy, that first A. So it was a violin with bow, separate bow and then slur. So separate bow to here, finish there, ta, now there was one other place. Finish this here. Now ta, less now. Yeah, so that A again in measure 2, that's beat number 3, the 16th note.
Yeah.
Separate that from the group of 6 notes. That's just like right, and that represents like there would have been a rest there at the beginning. It's a rest.
Right.
So it finished.
That didn't come out.
Right, there was another place that has that separation too. In measure 3, that would be beat number 3, that first 16th note, let that finish. The D minor, the D there, finish. Right. So this is, yeah. Yum, bum, 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 ta. Back to that rhythm, rest, da, dee, da, dum.
Yeah.
Bum, be, bum, falling down. You see how it all unfolds based upon the rest and the 3/16 notes.
Yes.
That kind of motif.
Yes.
Very good, very good. Have you tried playing very slowly hands together? Try it real super duper slow, because I always do that when I do separate hands. Then I know it's a different, it's a different phase of operation when I do it 2 hands together.
Yeah.
Like you're really so immersed in the shape when you go sculpting the line, the hands together. It right away goes. It goes bum. It makes a huge difference if you play that really correctly, that A to A, it springs the right hand in the right place.
Yeah.
The good news is that the other hand's also doing detached to that. You were thinking very harmonically here too, right? You're thinking very da, 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 da. This first A, ta, ba, ba, da, right away. Da, 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 dee, da. Ya, bum, think of your left hand, it'll feed into your right hand. Because you're still doing dominant 7, measure 3, dip it down a little bit, because it's tonic, and then less on the second beat. And in measure 2, where you're going da, dee, now dip this down.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, I see.
Little arrow down on that. So naturally, the A that comes out of the C is a little less because it's on an offbeat of the measure. Yum, bum, less. now. So probably if it were me and I do a lot of separate hands, you do a lot and a lot, you do it over and over, then believe it or not, I would do things like this. That slowly. I would really be examining how my hands move.
Yeah. Yeah.
I put it in super slow motion. So that one, I don't make note mistakes. I definitely don't want to rehearse any note mistakes, but I mostly don't want to rehearse phrasing problems where I'm not, and also harmonic rhythm issues that when I'm resolving, I'm dipping down and I'm lifting my hand where I need to, where I've decided because of the original subject. So I would go super duper slowly. And then I keep going back to separate, but this is a piece where separate hands forever and ever just doesn't work. You have to like deal with the dimension of the interaction, and that's more complex, of course, of what's going on between the hands. Why don't you continue measure 7, 8 up till on the right hand. Let's hear the right hand continuing to where you went up to.
And that's about as far as I'm solid with that.
I think so now you want to deal with some of those crescendos and then the diminuendo over the sequences. I guess that there would be 11 and 12 is falling down. Wherever those sequences are falling down, you want to make sure you're practicing in your diminuendos on sequences that fall down. And also, to measure 9. That is a crescendo, is an intensification to that very high C. That's the highest note so far of the invention that we've had, that high C in measure 9. So this is C major. We're in the relative major. Think of bum to there. So and you did nicely are folding in your thumbs, right? You're thinking of bum. Yes?
Yes.
You can hear that kind of getting into the keys toward the high C and the crescendo. So this time let's pay attention to the dynamics more. The sequence is down. That would be 11, 12, 13, right? Where you're falling down with those sequences.
Yeah.
We want to do that too. So let's hear the crescendo from measure, I guess that's measure 8 to 9, and then, less.
Sorry?
Sound here. Less, even less. That's beautiful. Those are the sequences down. And actually, measure 10 shouldn't. I will correct that. Don't make measure 10 less than 9. You can keep your intensity. And in 11, you need some firmness so you can keep bringing it down after that.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Let's map it out that way.
Yeah. I'm not intending that. I don't think. I think.
See if you get that more curvy. Most.
Yeah.
So you have these agogics, these notes that tied over stand out because they're surrounded by shorter note values. So you're going to ba, ba, It's one of the most beautiful places in this invention, the second page, of course. Yeah, so I'd really bring out the destination notes, the G agogic tied, the F sharp agogic tied, the E, but they're falling down, but they need to be a little bit delayed into them. You need to delay with your coming below them a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's very good. Into 7 with resolve.
Yeah. So here I'm doing 2 1 3 2 5 1 4 2 5. Yeah.
Yes, that's the fingering we have.
Yeah.
You do a lot of blocking there, a lot of blocking and overlap blocks, of course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can't block the whole chord there, so I do what I can.
Two partial blocks. Yeah, you could do 1 3 2 2 5 5 1, and then you're going to do 1 2 4. So you do overlapping blocks.
Yeah.
Thumb actually, and I always go, where's my thumb? It's going here. I always say, where's my thumb going to go? So I do things like that too, where my thumb's notes ultimately, yeah, through that passage. Rhythms are good for this. That's also good. After you block, yep. They're good too. Yeah, go slower. This is the best time to practice for yourself. Trust me. Slow, slow, slow. Don't forget, this finishes there. T. Bum, 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 T. Right? It could do this. It can be like boggy. So you don't want it's springing over to the high E, isn't it? Because it's actually a finishing. You're done. Now you're back to that comes from this. Where you have the rest.
Yep.
This fills in the space of the rest, but it's subdued for that reason. It's a cadence. We're done. Now we are going over there. This was done well because this is rolling. Roll to there. That from these notes, except they're in steps now. He takes a piece of the subject, but he's taking the rhythmic part of the subject, the 3/16, the rest, the 3/16. Rest.
Yep.
That's how you're shaping it, just like you did that, actually, in steps. It wasn't notey. So you don't want any notey playing. We're just curving down in a group of 4 notes. T. The most beautiful sequences in diminished chords down on the page. So beautiful. Both hands has diminished, right? Only in slower harmonic rhythm, in slower rhythm in the left hand, and faster rhythm, the same diminished chord, right? See, they're both doing diminished chords, right? Yeah, they're both doing diminished chords in each hand.